Good morning, everyone. It is 1 minute to 3 a.m. It's my time, of course, and that means 1 minute to the London Open. Bright and early here in the New York zone. Lots of nothing going on this morning. It looks like a very ranged bound morning here. I just recorded a video of starting with my naked chart and then drawing out my zone. Sent it out to my group so they can see exactly how I think about this when I draw or map out my czar zone, so to speak. Really, just support and resistance. Nothing rocket science about them. But you can see that this looks like a lot of movement here in the Asian session. I will tell you that it's not. This is entire move height top to bottom is only 34 points, so there's really a whole lot of nothing going on so far. Compared with what was happening yesterday, which was also a grinding afternoon, but lots of movement, of course, on the earlier news. Excuse me. Today is Friday, December the 2nd. Hard to believe it's December. It is NFP Day today. Lots of news coming out at 8:30 a.m., so that's still in 5.5 hours from now, right? It's only 3 a.m., as I mentioned, here in the New York zone. Okay, so this is my opening mapping of zones. I'm just going to adjust that a little tiny bit. And the London session has opened. You can see I'm not jumping and going crazy and trying to get in and, okay, it's going down, I better jump. Nothing's happening here for me, guys. I typically, as most of you know, or as many of you will know, I typically wait for this 10-minute candle to finish. So I'm waiting an entire 10 minutes here on the open to see what happens. This thing's pushing down, and I will sometimes, very occasionally, take a trade right off the open. And I have several videos showing me doing that, and I explain exactly why I do it, when I do it, and it has everything to do with the pre-market setup. In other words, the setup coming into London, so Asian session. Of course, Asian is still going. There's an overlap between Asia and London, as there is an overlap between London and New York later on for about 2 hours. You see this very indecisive flurry of activity here on the open. That's typically, of course, what we do see as participants start to try to figure out what direction they want to take here today, leading into, in this case, NFP Friday. These are simple support and resistance zones, also known as czar zones. Yes, anybody can draw these. There is not rocket science. I don't claim that I'm doing anything special here. What I do that's special is extract profits as a result of these zones, and that's what most traders cannot do consistently. They might get lucky for a while, they might get lucky today, they might get lucky for the week, and typically give it all back the following week. I'm just telling you the way it actually works. No smoke and mirrors. This is the truth. And many of you do, probably some of you might not want to hear that, but day trading is extremely difficult. It's very challenging, not because it requires a great deal of intelligence. It does not, but it does require self-mastery and impulse control, and that is what human beings are absolutely horrific at. And that's thanks to our friend evolution. Evolution, by means of natural selection, did not select us to be great traders. Actually selected us to be horrific traders with no trading in mind, by the way. And it's not that evolution has a mind, it does not. But we are not wired to trade well. We are wired to trade very poorly, and so unless we have mechanisms of impulse control in place, we will not succeed. End of story. All right. These are the sisters. I call them the four sisters. The NASDAQ, the Dow, the S&P, and the DAX index in Germany, right? So 3 US-based indices and 1 German. I could include the FTSE there as well. But I typically don't, because it does pretty much what the DAX does most days, not always. But the DAX is enough of an indicator of what's happening in Europe on this London Open. Of course, we're actually in London. These indices, the actual US markets, are not even open yet. NASDAQ, Dow, and S&P, but they move very much in tandem with the rest of the world, even here in these early hours, way before most Americans are even considering getting up, North Americans. All right, bring you back to the main screen now. This is a 10-minute chart of the NASDAQ. The first 10-minute candle is Sorry, this is a 3-minute chart of the I was looking at something before coming on. That explains it here. Okay, that's more like it. This is the 10-minute chart. With me for a minute. I think I might have sent the wrong chart. Yes, I did. I'm going to put you on pause for 1 moment. I'll bring you back. Nothing happening here. Okay, guys, we're back. I had you on pause for a few minutes just to prevent you from sitting through the sideways grind. Getting a bit of a push here now on the 10-minute candle that may or may not offer something for me. We'll see. This is NFP Friday. A lot of strange movement happens even way before. We're talking 6 hours or so before, 6 hours and 20 minutes before the news. So sometimes I don't even trade before the NFP comes out. And then only when things settle down do I take a trade. And I may do that today. We'll see. If something really compelling sets up, I may jump in here. I hope you'll take the word jump in lightly, because I don't typically jump into trades. They're very well thought out these days and have been for many years. Not to say that I don't struggle with all the same impulses as all younger traders, newer traders do here in my 4th decade of trading. So you'll notice all these rejection wicks here in the pre-market or in the Asian session, and then now this another violent rejection wick here in the open of London. And so there's definitely some selling forces here defending this area for whatever reason. We don't need to know the reason, because there is no the reason. It's and the net result of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of reasons that various traders and participants will have, everywhere from bank traders to endowments and foundations and portfolio managers and ETF managers and hedge funds and mutual fund managers and so on and so forth, and arbitrageurs and algorithms, you name it, high frequency and low frequency traders. They're all participating in this game, and the net result is defending here for now. That's all we need to know. Trying to decipher any other answers is just a futile endeavor and really a waste of time. Alright, now as is typical, if you watch my videos, you'll know that this first 10-minute candle becomes my opening range. And so I'm going to draw that in right now and send this off to my group, Telegram group. Free group, by the way. If you would like to join, please come on over. Assuming you have a really great attitude, a positive attitude, love to learn, love to share, then you're welcome in our group, absolutely. We'd love to have you. And so my opening range is that open 10-minute candle, which is complete now. We're 2 minutes into the next candle. But I'll also include surrounding resistance that's nearby. Well, there isn't any here, so that's the top of my range. And then surrounding support that's anywhere near. And this does qualify, this range that we already had drawn in before we came into the session. And so that will also be included in my opening range. And now I'll send this off to my group. I'm going to put you on pause so you don't have to... Well, no, I'm going to let you watch this because things are unfolding in an interesting way here now. All of a sudden. I just want to get the best picture to send out so that people can understand what's going on here. Alright. I like that one there. Okay, here we go. Sending this off. Just patiently watching these candles unfold now. Just checking something on the Dow here. Very sloppy action. I'm wondering if I have a wrong contract here. No, it looks right. Yeah. Sometimes that happens. It gets very sloppy and choppy. That's right. Sloppy and choppy. I'll get you back here. There's the 1 minute. Alright guys, nothing happening here. Back to the 10-minute chart. Alright. Super rangy. You can see this here. We had an expanding pattern coming into this this open, which is just really a whole lot of indecision and wishy-washiness. So I'm gonna put you on pause. We end the stream with nothing going on, but I'll bring you back in a few minutes here. 1 second for you, a few minutes for me. Pause now. Okay guys, just brought you back here after a few minutes, and this is a very range-bound open. I think this market is really probably waiting for NFP in about 6 hours or so. And so I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to say thank you for joining us here. Thank you for joining me on this morning on Friday, December 2nd, NFP Friday. And I'm going to wish you an amazing day, an amazing weekend. I hope to see you in the New York Open later on today. Otherwise, take it easy. Have a great weekend, and we will see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.